Alrighty, welcome back to another talking video in the summertime. And yeah, here I am with another subject that I wanted to talk about sooner than later. And this subject is on thinking. Thinking. And what could we say about thinking? What could we sing about thinking? Well, there is one song that comes to my mind, and that is the song that goes like this. They say that the left side of the brain controls the right. They say that the right side has to work hard all night. Maybe I think too much for my own good. That's a song called Think Too Much from Paul Simon. There is that song about thinking, and well, there is what the Bible has to say about thinking and what I would like to say today. And I hope that it can line up with the word of the Bible and that this can be inspiring. And well, I mentioned thinking because, yeah, every day we are saying things and doing things, and before we speak and act, we are thinking. And, well, we could either be thinking about good stuff that honors God, or we could be thinking about bad stuff which is against God. And well, yeah, I mentioned earlier in the summer about practicing more and more. And I believe it so strongly with thinking that if we spend so much time thinking very often, like so many people out there who have, their interest in the filthy music and the filthy jokes, and we're thinking like that so much of the time, then we could be more likely to go along and think that way and make decisions that are sinful. However, if we spend more time thinking in a pure way and we find the music that is clean and the jokes that are clean, then yeah, the more that we practice thinking in a pure way, then we could be helping ourselves to make decisions that are good and pure and honor God. And yeah, I think of one of my favorite verses in the Bible about thinking. And this is Philippians 4, verse 8, where it says, "Whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things." Think about such things. You know, that verse is not telling us to think about the sinful or vulgar kind of stuff, but it is encouraging us to think about what is pure. And I hope that you can take that with you everywhere that you go, and with everything that you say, and with everything that you do. And well, I know it can be challenging when we are surrounded by people at school and work who do not give a darn about God's way, and they might be tempting you to think in a way that is sinful and can lead to destruction. I know it can be challenging. It can be difficult when we are surrounded by these people. And, I so wish that the music could be cleaned up at dances and local places and with what is played on cell phones and speakers. I really wish that the music could be cleaned up in this day and age, and that people could find cleaner jokes to say, and, well, that the TV shows and movies could be more appropriate. You know, I really wish it could all be cleaned up. But for those of us who follow God, we can at least make that difference through our example, and we can find the good and clean-cut jokes, and we can find music out there which is clean and it is appropriate, and we can try and find the TV shows and movies that are appropriate, and we can try to inspire other people to think in a pure way, and we can at least do ourselves a favor by thinking in a godly way and staying out of trouble and living our best life for God. And, well, you know, one other thing I wanted to mention here, because I believe that it could go along with the subject of thinking and what we can do, is what we can think and focus on when we are being tempted. You know, when we are being tempted by a bad idea or a sinful way of thinking, we can always focus on other things. We can always focus on other things. And some examples of other things that we could focus on would be going outside to cut the grass, or we could go through our home and pick up the dust bunnies. We can focus on a hobby. And for me, one of my favorite hobbies is seeing what this amusement park might be doing next, what that park might be doing next for their next flat ride or roller coaster. And yeah, we could focus on a hobby. And, well, for those of us who are in school, we can focus on our homework and find somewhere private where we can just focus on our homework for a while. And for those of us who have a job, we can focus on our job. And we can also continue to read the Bible and have a devotional every day. And, you know, to just focus on other things which are pure and productive. I just wanted to say that because I think it is good to have other things that we can focus on, and we can distract ourselves away from a bad idea and a bad way of thinking, and we can get other things done. And yeah, you know, I just mentioned all of this because I am always encouraging people to live their best life for God and to stay out of trouble, because I have seen it before where with certain people I've known, they were tempted by an idea which was not pure, and some people out there have become addicted to a substance. Some people have ended up as single parents, and they feel very stressed out and unhappy. Some people have gone along with an act of vandalizing, like putting gallons of soap into a local fountain. And yeah, you know, depending on what the crime can be, some people have ended up in juvenile hall or jail. And yeah, you know, the temptations have just been there, and they will always be there when we are a kid and when we are an adult. And I just hope that throughout all the years of your life, when you are a kid and when you are an adult, that you can keep your thinking in a pure and godly place and do what God would want you to do, and to stay away from the bad ideas and bad situations where sinful things could happen. I just hope that you can always focus on what is pure, like it mentions in Philippians 4, verse 8. And I just hope that you can always focus on other things when you are tempted and get all that good and productive stuff done, and to live a life that honors God. Yeah, that's just what I wanted to share in this message today about thinking. And I hope that this has all made sense, and I hope it has been inspiring to you, that you can think in a pure way and take that with you every day of your life. And yeah, I hope that you can just always remember this message about thinking. So, once again, thank you for watching another talking video. And this video will be here on YouTube when you wish to return to it. And I will still be here. I'm always rooting for you. And stay well. And I will see you all again for another video really soon. Thank you.